RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, man, back again, and it's only right, man. We're coming off of the 2024 draft conclusion this past weekend, so I thought what better way to kind of help summarize or even finalize a little bit to a certain extent the this draft season than doing a draft recap. So hopefully some of y'all tap in, man, and kick it with your dog. We'll go over some of our favorite picks, our least favorite picks that made absolutely no sense at all. So man, we can get into all of that. So I'm gonna stay cool and chill for a minute. Let some of y'all get in here, and we're gonna get this thing going for sure. For sure. Actually, matter of fact, 1 second. Day one gang in the building, man. What's going on, man? What is the word, big dog? Yeah, man. Man, same old same, brother. Doing what I be trying to do. Like I said, the draft just ended this weekend, so I figured, man, maybe hop on here, see if anybody want to go back over it, man. Recap, favorite picks, least favorite picks, all that good stuff. Hey, I should have known you was at the gig. I should have known you was at the gig for sure. No, I always appreciate you tapping in for sure, bro. For sure. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Your Eagles did their thing, though, man. As far as this draft, getting Quinyon Mitchell, he was my top corner in the draft anyway. I thought y'all was gonna trade up to get him. Like I be doing all them mock drafts. I had y'all trading up to get Quinyon Mitchell. Y'all sit there, he falls right to you. Then in the second round, y'all double back and get Cooper DeJean. He falls right to you as well. Boy, hey, that secondary was rough for y'all for the last year and a half for sure. But yeah, nah, y'all in good hands now, boy. Y'all in good hands now. Believe that. Yeah. From your boy, I went see, yeah. I tell you what, man. I gave y'all a B. I gave y'all a B, but I tell you why, man. I like the Mitchell pick. I like the Gene. I didn't like y'all third round pick, man. I ain't like that kid, Jalix Hunt. He's a edge player slash linebacker from a small school down here in Texas, Houston Baptist. But well, he was listed as an edge. Oh, he said don't take to. Oh, my fault, bro. Hey, it's me and you, big dog. Hey, it's me and you, big dog. Hey, they get in where they fit in, man. When they fall in this thing, they gonna have to get in where they fit in. For sure, you right. But yeah, man, I didn't like that kid, or I don't want to say I didn't like him, but boy, getting him in the third round was crazy, man. It was crazy. If anything, man, six would have been sixth round. Makes more sense. Developmental guy, small school prospect. But yeah, if you told me you got him in the sixth, I've been all for it. But in the third, boy, that's pricey. That's definitely a little pricey. Matter of fact, man, another thing that was cool for y'all, man. Y'all got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Went ahead and signed him, man, picked him up. His dad, the OG, Big Jeremiah. Now his son drafted to the same team. We had the same thing happen last year with Pittsburgh with Joey Porter. Yeah, Joey Porter Jr. gets drafted by the Steelers. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. drafted by the Eagles. So now that's dope. That's dope for real. Yeah, man. I see a couple more y'all that popped in on your boy, man. Drop some in the chat and highlight your dog. Said the owner almost cried. I ain't see the footage. I didn't see the footage, man. What was that? Jeff Lurie? Jeff Lurie broke down. I mean, I can see that, man. That draft stuff be emotional. It really do be emotional, boy. Boys be cracking under the pressure, boy. But yeah. Nah, that's dope, though. Said Jeff Lurie shed a tear. Miles in this thing, man. My dog. He said, who had the best draft and who blew it? You know what, man? Miles, since you asked, might as well go ahead and jump into it. That's one of the topics I had. I had that queued on up. Might as well jump into my biggest winners from the draft, man. 3 biggest winners for me. Cardinals, Steelers, and the Bengals. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. And I'll tell you whose draft kind of surprised me. Or I watched, man, the first, 257 picks. I had to watch 250 of them. But like the Cardinals class like snuck up on me. Like when I look back at their picks, I was like, nah, they did the damn thing, boy. Cardinals went crazy. Round 1, they get Marvin Harrison, receiver from Ohio State. That's easy. That's chalk. That was a chalk pick. That's been a predicted pick for 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So nobody really expected much there. The second first-round pick, Darius Robinson from Missouri, defensive lineman, big body dude. And especially in their 3 front, he's gonna play like 5 tech. I like that pick. I like that pick as well. I like Robertson, and he from the crib. That always helped, but I liked him a lot. I had mocked him to them in a 2nd-round pick as well. He was one of the guys I would mock to them, so they came out strong out the gate. I'll tell you my favorite pick of Arizona. Round 3, they got this corner named Max Melton from Rutgers. I love that kid. I really did. I loved him. That was my favorite pick they made. But now they was just solid all the way through. They got 2 corners I like. Elijah Jones, another corner from Boston College. At the bottom of round 3, Trey Benson. I think he was the best running back in this draft from Florida State. Got him in the middle of the 2nd round or early in the 3rd round. So they got James Conner there who's been doing his thing. But, you know what I mean? He's sniffing 30. He has been a little banged up, so I don't know how much time left on James Conner contract, boy, but hey, the writing is on the wall for him for sure. The writing is definitely on the wall because Trey Benson gonna be, he flew around be one of them ones. Then who else? I said the Bengals. Let's see what Cincinnati did. I know Cincinnati almost broke my heart, man. When this draft was when the draft was falling, Amarius Mims, the tackle from Georgia, has been the guy most associated with the Steelers probably for this whole draft process. I loved him too. Like he was top 10 on my big board. You know what I'm saying? He only started 8 games in Georgia, but he was a monster. And so I was thinking he was gonna fall to us. The Cincinnati gets him at 18, 2 picks before us. But luckily, like I said, we still had some of them ones on the board for us. But love what they did there. They got one of my favorite defensive tackles in the 2nd round, Chris Jenkins from Michigan. I think he was way underrated, dude. Nice. Love that pick. They got one of the better receivers, Jermaine Burton from Alabama. He went to Georgia, transferred to Alabama. But boy, nice. But he's one of them head cases though, man. They got him on. Well, you can YouTube Jermaine Burton, boy. See what he into. But they get him in the 3rd round. He's a guy, if not for alleged circumstances or whatever, definitely goes into 2nd for sure. And honestly, me seeing Ricky Pearsall go in the bottom of the 1st, Keon Coleman went at the very top of the 2nd, Jalen Polk went at the top of the 2nd. Guys, I like both. I like all 3 of those guys, but those guys going where they went tells me that Jermaine Burton, if not for other circumstances, he probably goes in the top 40 as well. Like definitely. So yeah, Cincinnati did their thing, man. I can't lie. Cincinnati had a good draft. Then last but not least, you know them boys. You know them boys. You know we did what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? You know them Steelers showed up, did what we had to do. 2 years in a row, PFF that gave us an A+ for the draft. You know what I'm saying? Went back to the big boys up front. Boy, hey man, I can't wait, man. It's about to be some real Steeler football, man. It's about to be some real bully ball, man. We back, man. The bully ball is back in effect, man. Got 2 starters on the offensive line. Both of those guys projected to go before we got them. We was thinking we was going to have to trade up to get either one of them. And we got both of them where we was at without having to trade. That's an easy win. Got Roman Wilson, receiver from Michigan. I wasn't as big on Roman Wilson personally, but a lot of people had him as a guy that could was probably going to go in the second round. And then some people even thought that he might be a guy that a team like San Francisco or something might look at. But I didn't never see him in the first at all. But people were saying he might have been a second rounder. We got him in the third. I think that's where he was supposed to go. But no, we got him in the third, man. Stud. Then we got the best linebacker in the draft, Miles. Peyton Wilson, white boy from North Carolina State. 6'4", 235, ran 4.41. But now he's been injured though, man. He doesn't have an ACL. I think he tore his ACL twice. They just took it out. And I guess the boy don't need it. Because he flies, boy. He flies all around the field. So he's another guy that could have been a bottom of the first round, definitely top of the second round guy if not for the injuries, and we get him in the bottom of the third. So yeah, we definitely did a thing, man. Let me catch up on these comments. Oh, you say you a fan of Wilson? Yeah, if you seen he nice. He said, what about these running backs? So Trey Benson was my favorite running back in this draft. He was from Florida State. He's a height, weight, speed dude, great vision, and he's got legit long speed, man. When he turned it on, he's gone. Like 6 foot 220, somewhere in there. But yeah, he went to Arizona. He was part of that Arizona draft class that I really liked. So he'll be replacing James Conner likely in probably by next year for sure. I would think maybe this is James Conner last year. But the other guy that was in contention for the top back in the draft, I think it was probably split like 60-40 about which one of these guys is the top in the class between Benson and Jonathan Brooks from Texas. And so I was on the Benson side, but Jonathan Brooks from Texas was he's nice as well. Only thing is he tore his ACL mid-season or around the middle of the season, so he hasn't done anything in the offseason and all that good stuff as he's recovering from that. They're thinking that he's probably going to be like cleared for football activities like by the time training camp starts, but he's still coming off the ACL. You know what I'm saying? But he got drafted. He was the first. I think Trey Benson might have been the first back, and then he went a couple picks later, or I might have that backwards. But he got drafted by the Panthers, and they definitely need him, no doubt. They definitely need him. But yeah, I had Benson ahead of him, just kind of a little more my flavor. And then also, man, especially with running backs, we know how it go. You only got 5-6 years if they really fool with you, and you coming in behind the 8 ball on that ACL. And so, I mean, he's going to be healthy enough to play this year, but he's not going to necessarily be himself this year. So he's already losing a year, and realistically, we only got him for 5 or 6 anyway. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, he was cold. Jalen Wright was my third running back for Tennessee, but he fell till he went to Miami, which is a great spot because he's a one-cut speed dude. He's a little leaner. He's like 6'1", probably 210. He's a 4'3" dude, or he looks like a 4'3" dude. I think the very first play of the game against Georgia, he went like 70 to the crib. Literally. Very first snap, I think he went 70 plus to the crib. I want to say that was either Georgia or Alabama, one of them. But he was my third guy. He went to the Dolphins. Marshawn Lloyd was my fourth guy from USC. A little shorter, more traditional size, probably like 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around 215. Kind of a mixture of a jitterbug type dude, but with decent little size. I like him too. I think he went to the Packers, matter of fact. And so those was my top 4 dudes. Those was my top 4 guys for sure. What do you say? What's the realistic projection? Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. We gotta keep in mind just how bad things really got for the Steelers last year, man. And we was a 10-win playoff team. I mean, you can call it what you want, man. You can say a lot of stuff. Shouldn't have been there. Didn't have a chance. Man, hey, it all sounds good. We was there, man. 10 wins and we was there. With one of y'all uncles, with one of y'all little cousins playing quarterback right now. It was terrible. All the injuries on defense. And man, I ain't gonna lie, man. The offensive line looks so strong. Russ and Justin Fields, whichever one of them end up playing, I think Russ gonna, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think Russ gonna ball, dog. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you at all. I think Russ real life gonna ball, man. But realistically, I don't think 12 wins is out the question. 12 wins wasn't out the question last year. Just as terrible as the offense was, so I definitely don't think 12 wins is out the question. Like 10, well, and another thing too, they released the schedule. I think we got the toughest schedule of the in the league this coming year. Like literally, we number one for like the toughest schedule. But don't mean nothing to us. Don't mean nothing. It all sound good. Said, do I think Russ plays the full year? I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do. Unless he gets injured or something like that, and I don't want to put that on him. You know what I mean? But I think he does. Russ generally has been a healthy quarterback his whole career anyway. And so unless he just is truly like falling off a cliff, then I think he does. But I do think they're gonna work Fields into the offense, though. I definitely think there's gonna be something like that. You said you think he ushers in Fields. I think you're right about the old school Steelers ball. Yeah, and so that's what I'm thinking, man. Like we're not trying to win on the arm of Russ or Fields anyway. Especially, you know what I'm saying, bringing in Arthur Smith, hitting the offensive line. We got 3 offensive linemen in this draft. We only had 7 picks, and we got 3 hog mollies, boy. Hey, we got 3 hog mollies too. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely finna run the air out the ball. But yeah, we gonna let Russ do what he did, man, in them early days in Seattle. Hand the ball off 30 times, and then hit them boys up top, man, when we dial it up. And that's when Russ is at his best. What you say? Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, but Fields is no Pat. No, well, I don't even necessarily think it's that dynamic because Fields is only on a 1-year deal, and we turned down his 5th-year option. I mean, what we had to, he's the backup, and his 5th-year option is $25 million. You know what I'm saying? And so the Steelers and Tomlin, they came out and said, like, they're open to re-signing Russell Wilson. So this is real life. Like, this could be a situation where Russ goes in and balls, then we probably extend him, I would think, for like 2-3 years to kind of finish out Russ's. Well, I don't know how long he plays. Russ said he plans on playing until like 42. But he won't be in Pittsburgh till 42. But realistically, we would probably try to do a 2, maybe even call it a 3-year deal that's probably a realistic 2-year deal. But I do think there's going to be, ideally, I think what's going to happen is, man, we try to work out one of those deals with Justin Fields like the Packers did with Jordan Love, where they didn't pick up his option, but they still did like a multi-year extension that gives them some bread and kind of keeps them happy enough until we can actually get them on the field. My dog day one game, Jarrell, what do you say? Is Russ considered an elite quarterback? Nah, man, not for a while. Nah, his last elite year was probably the year Lamar Jackson won the MVP. Because if y'all remember, and I definitely remember, I remember talking about it with my dog Chop on the show. Russell Wilson was probably going to win his first MVP because Lamar didn't really turn up until like the second half of the seasons where he really got going, where he really started cooking. And like Lamar's last, like probably like the last six to 7 games, he really went crazy. And Russ started out so hot that year, but I think he actually cooled off the last like 5 games or so. And so and Lamar got that MVP as he should have. I mean, that was, you know what I'm saying, that was vintage Lamar. If Lamar ever puts on a gold jacket, they're gonna show the highlights from that season. Like, that was Lamar at his best to that point for sure. So now, man, I think that was probably the last legitimate elite year from Russ. He's a guy, he's always been borderline in that elite discussion anyway. Like, he's always kind of been on the line. And so I don't think he's ever necessarily been in the top 4 quarterbacks in the league, just with the guys that was in the league when he was playing. But he's a guy that's always hung around 5, 6, 7. And it always felt like there was more there. It always felt like there was more that Russ could do if the Seahawks kind of, I mean, the whole let Russ cook thing. That's where that came from. But yeah, I think the year after that, I think he's when the first time he really got injured. Yeah, he got injured or broke his hand or something like that. And honestly, he hasn't looked the same since. He hasn't looked the same since. But Denver was a dumpster fire, so I'm not even gonna put all that on Russ. Especially as bad as we remember it for Russ, man. The boy threw 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, almost 3,500 yards, and that was the season that got him fired. And matter of fact, he didn't even get to play the last 2 games because they was ready to get him out of there. So yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. There's still good ball in there, especially with the way what we're gonna ask him to do. Like I don't think we don't want to just put the ball in his hands 40 times to go sling it. Like, not at all. But for what we're going to do, yeah, man. Russ flew around being a Pro Bowl. Nah, I ain't going to lie. That AFC stacked, man. Lamar and Patty, 2 of them seats is locked up. Lamar and Patty out the gate got 2 of them seats locked up, man. If Joe Burrow's healthy, there's a 3rd seat. It's hard. It's hard to get in the AFC. So maybe not a Pro Bowler, but I think he's gonna have a nice bounce back year. But yeah, those 3 was my 3 favorites for sure. Then, matter of fact, I might as well talk about my 3 least favorite drafts then. My least favorite drafts, the Falcons, Jaguars, and Texans. And I'll tell you why. It might appear obvious, but honestly, the Michael Penix, Atlanta's first pick in the first round, pick number 8, probably the most shocking pick of the whole draft was they drafted Michael Penix, the quarterback from Washington. And so his story this whole draft season anyway, man, he was a guy that people were putting him in the 2nd round, refused to acknowledge him as a first round. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on, man, with Michael Penix. But he was my quarterback 3 in this draft, the whole shebang. So I always had him right behind Jalen Daniels and Caleb Williams. But they get the Falcons take Michael Penix at number 8. And standard thinking makes it look like a wild pick because, of course, they just gave Kirk Cousins $160 million. So, okay, you bring over Kirk for $160, you guarantee $100 of it. So, I think 80 or 90 of it is guaranteed in the first 2 years, and then he's got like some residual guarantees in the 3rd, but you can get out of it. But all the tea leaves were pointing to Atlanta drafting a top pass rusher or defender because they've needed a pass rusher for it feels like a decade now. And so that's where all the tea leaves and everything was pointing. And it was looking like they were going to be the first team to take a defender because this was going to be a heavy offensive draft. Then they end up going Michael Penix. And then the first defender doesn't come off the board until pick 15 when the Colts took Laiatu Latu, edge rusher from UCLA. So now this was I was entertained by this draft. I definitely was. But outside of the Michael Penix move, like I said, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all because I appreciate the forward thinking of the company or of the team. Like, look, we just gave Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed. We didn't do that to be able to draft a top 10 quarterback anytime soon. So we're not gonna be back up here. We got a guy that would fit this system perfectly, or a guy we believe that could fit this system, and all that. It makes sense to me. But I didn't like the rest of their draft at all, man. Ruka Roro at pick 36, way overdrafted in my opinion. Developmental raw D lineman from Clemson. Realistically, a fourth rounder. Brandon Trice in the 3rd. Doesn't really do it for me. I think that's around early as well. I think more of a 4th rounder. My favorite pick was probably their 4th round pick, Brandon Dorlus from the tweener defensive lineman from Oregon. He was my favorite pick of theirs, but yeah, was not a fan of their draft at all, man. I gave him a C-. C-, I think, is the lowest grade I gave any team. I think all my grades went from like A to C-. I think I only had 3 A's, and those are the 3 teams I had in the winner circle. But yep. Let me see. Oh yeah, Jaguars. Move on to them. Jaguars also, man, gave them a C-. They first picked Brian Thomas I like the player. He was my wide receiver 4. I definitely had a first round grade on him and all that good stuff. But I never liked the fit of Brian Thomas going to the Jaguars because of Gabe Davis. Not that he's not an upgrade over Gabe Davis. He damn sure is. But they do kind of the same thing. Like tall, speedy, vertical receivers. The guys you want to send 30 yards up the field to take the top off. Like they both kind of do that. I thought they needed somebody to complement that. But the way they got them, man, I can't be mad. They traded down, so you trade down, you pick up some additional picks. Yeah, they trade down with Minnesota, pick up some compensation, and then you still get them at 23. So I can't hate on the move. I like the player, but I didn't like the rest of their picks either. I didn't like the rest of their picks. They reached on a lot of guys with the rest of those picks, and so wasn't feeling it. Sis in the building. Sis in the building. What's the word? How you doing? How you feeling? You should be in class, ain't you? You should be in class, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I got going on? Ain't nothing too much going on. Just cooling. You know. Talking a little draft, talking a little ball. You know how I like to do. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. Matter of fact, my last loser, man. I hate to do it to you, Tom. We're terrible time at, man. Terrible time, man. I'm talking about your Texas. You ain't even present. But the Houston Texans, man, I didn't like they drafted out. They trade out of the first round early in the game. So it was already a done deal. They had traded a couple weeks ago with the Vikings. And then I think that was part of the compensation they used to get Stephon Diggs. And so I appreciate that. I think Diggs is going to be excellent in that receiver room in Texas. Okay, not necessarily in the room because he's got a reputation. That ain't my business, but he gonna do his thing on the field. I think Diggs is still Diggs, man. When you between the lines, man, you put the ball in the air. So I do like that. But as far as their actual draft, didn't like none of it. Didn't like damn near none of it. Kamari Lassiter was their first pick at the top of the second round, corner from Georgia. I mean, he's physical, he's aggressive, but I don't know, man. Reach. I think he was a 4th round guy. Blake Fisher, tackling at the bottom of the second from Notre Dame. I actually liked Blake Fisher, but not in the second round. I think he was a bottom of the 3rd, top of the 4th. Realistically, probably top of the 4th round pick for me, honestly. But I do like the player, but just like I said, it's a reach. Kalen Bullock, middle of the 3rd, felt around early as well. Everybody felt around early. But safety from USC, so wasn't feeling the Texans pick, man. I gave them a C as well. What's this say? Say, yeah, but here's hey, show you right. Show you right. As you should. As you should. Appreciate you. You already know. Oh, cuzzo. Big cuz in the building, man. What's going on? Appreciate you, cousin. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Not too much going on. Cooling. Sitting here, talk a little football a little bit. Maybe talk a little boxing, who knows? Maybe just a little bit. What else was going on in the league, man? I feel like we had a little. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, we did get some news, man. Couple manifestos, cuz in the building, man. Might as well talk about your boy Travis Kelce, man. We got some new money in the building, man. It's some new money out there. It's some new money outside. Travis Kelce that got cashed out. Chiefs extend Travis Kelce 2 years. I think $34.5 million, 17 guaranteed. So makes him the new highest paid tight end, 2-year deal. But yeah, 17 and change a year. Hey, no kidding. No kizzy. Big money Sonny for sure. He had to go in there and talk to Andy, like, look, Andy, man, I need a raise, man. You know I'm dating Taylor. Man. Taylor says she only travels by private jet. He needed some more bread, man. He had to keep up. Andy said, don't even trip. I got you. I got you. How your people call my people? And they went and got it done. But yeah, 2 more years. Assuming he plays on both, only the first year is guaranteed, but I can't see them like cutting on it. Especially he's still productive. He would have had 1,000 yards this year if he didn't. He chose to sit out the Raiders game at the end of the year. He would have had 1,000. He finished like just over 900. But yeah, he's still doing this thing for sure. Then Christian Barrymore got cashed out by the Patriots. A lot of people don't know his name, but boy, they gave that man $92 million. Boy, y'all better get involved. 4-year extension for $92 million. So he definitely got cashed on now. For sure. For sure. And then, another thing I want to talk about as well, man, Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush has been maybe not vindicated. Maybe that's not the right word, but I don't know. Maybe justice was too strong as well. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but man, Reggie Bush got his Heisman back. I don't know how y'all feel about that. It was deserved, man. Heisman trying to do too much. That ain't your business to worry about what he had going on, man. You're an on-the-field award. Heisman tried to overstep and do that. It never made sense for when the Heisman reacted like that. I never understood that. Like, man, y'all need to chill. Y'all are on-the-field postseason award. Y'all in here acting like y'all doing investigations. Y'all read a Yahoo Sports clip and took away that man's trophy. Like, yeah, that was ridiculous. If you left him on the ballot to get the award, then yeah, it is what it is. But Reggie definitely needed that trophy back, man. That was always Reggie's trophy. And everybody, I mean, he was still referred to as a Heisman winner. I don't know anybody who didn't give him that kudo or that credit. So, yeah, Reggie definitely needed it. Now, here's the thing as well, man. With everything, I think the biggest catalyst for this, I don't think it had nothing to do with Reggie. They wasn't sweating Reggie this whole time. I don't think it had anything to do with Reggie. When Johnny Manziel came out and they did that 30 for 30, and then he was candidly giving all the details about how he was flying across country, doing illegal signings, getting money, getting cashed out under the table. When he aired all that out, and then he's the guy that led the charge, like, hey, man, y'all got to get Reggie his trophy back. Boom, boom, boom. So then they put the Heisman people in the camp. Because after the Manziel stuff came out, I was okay, so wait. So when are they going to take Manziel's trophy? I was waiting on that. Like, okay, yeah, if this is what we done did, if this is what y'all done did, Heisman ceremony, is this the standard y'all done set? This is the precedent y'all done set. When are y'all going to get Manziel's trophy? He wasn't going to give it back. If I was Reggie, I'd have never gave it back. Reggie better than me. They had to come square up in my yard. Like, boy, y'all better get on. Y'all can change our record book if you want to. You get out my yard, boy. For real. But yeah, man, with everything came out with Manziel, yeah, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take it away? We're gonna go back and start investigating everybody that's 1-1, knowing boys getting money under the table. And once that wasn't happening, Manziel called him out a couple times publicly for whatever that's worth. But yeah, they finally came around and did the right thing. They finally came around. Mama, what's going on? Appreciate you. But yeah, Reggie earned that Heisman. Reggie earned that Heisman. I don't give a damn if he does live in a condo on Pacific Coast Highway, looking over the Pacific. That ain't my business. Man runs for 200 yards on Saturdays, man. Get him in his trophy. Me and my homeboys we was talking about just debating like Reggie Bush's college career or like his standing all time, how we rank him, how we think about him, and that sort of thing. It got pretty, I ain't gonna say heated, but it got pretty good, it got pretty juicy. You know, I like to get the juices flowing. So yeah, man. But I'm definitely happy Reggie got his trophy back for sure. Heisman, y'all played yourselves. Y'all played yourselves for sure. Matter of fact, they should still take Manziel. He admitted some wrongdoing. Reggie denied it, and nobody had any concrete proof. They never had any verifiable concrete evidence. Johnny didn't admit it to ESPN and anybody who watched the show what he did. But nah, I ain't gonna lie. I want Johnny to have his as well. Like I said, man, it's on the field. Things he did off the field ain't the Heisman business for either one of them, in my opinion. Unless you're gonna take him off the, if you're gonna take him off the ballot before it even happens, that's different. Man, you left him on the ballot, put him on TV, let him give a speech. The milk is spilt, man. The milk is spilt. It is what it is. It is what it is for sure. Let me see. Honestly, I mean, I don't think there's really too much more news going on. I'm trying to think. Matter of fact, now I had some day 3 steals, man. Some late round picks I really liked. I'll talk about them until y'all give me something else to talk about. Y'all know how I'm gonna do. My favorite, the biggest steal of this draft. The biggest. And what's crazy, I was calling this kid the biggest steal of the draft before the draft happened. Before the draft, I knew he was going to be a steal because I thought he was going to go in the 4th round. He was actually projected to go probably around the 4th round. I was telling people he was going to be the steal of the draft if he goes in the 4th. Instead, he goes in the 6th. It's outrageous. Malik Washington. Malik Washington, wide receiver from Virginia, goes to Miami in the 6th round, is an absolute steal. Man should have been a 2nd round pick, hands down. Hands down, a 2nd round pick. He goes in the 6th. And then especially with a guy, Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, I was just not a Malachi Corley guy. I wasn't in on. I think Malik Washington is what you want Malachi Corley to be as an actual receiver. Because he's a slot. He's still got tremendous run after catch ability. Like, yeah, man. Malachi Corley. Probably one of my second favorite receivers, Jamari Thrash, another guy. Easily was a round 3 receiver. I thought he could have went in the 2nd round. But easily a round 3 receiver. He goes in the 5th round to Cleveland, of all places. I hate that. I really like that boy's game. Reminded me of Deontay Johnson. I was calling him Deontay Johnson 2.0. He falls all the way to the 5th round to Cleveland. A couple other guys, man. Javon Baker, receiver from UCF. 5th round to the Patriots. He's another guy. I thought he would go in the 4th round, but I thought he probably should have been a guy that, for me, he could have went in the 2nd. But maybe more realistically, 3rd, maybe the top of the 4th, worst case, he goes in the 5th round and goes to the damn Patriots. Out of everybody. Goes to the Patriots. I couldn't believe it. But, yeah, those are some of my favorites. Day 3 steals. Couple linemen I really liked. Chris Jones, the tackle from Texas, goes in the 5th round in Arizona. He's a starter. He's going to start sometime. I mean, not right now out the box. He's going to start within 2 seasons. He's going to be a starter. Goes in the 5th round. Especially when I see a guy like Chris Jones going in the 5th, and I see Patrick Paul going in the 2nd. That might have been the absolute worst pick of the draft. The entire draft might have been Patrick Paul, tackle from Houston, going in the 2nd round to Miami. Nothing about that fit even lines up, and then let alone to draft that man in the 2nd round. My God. But no, I definitely was a big fan of Chris Jones. Christian Mahogany, man, road grader. Falls all the way to the 6th to Detroit. He fits in perfect in Detroit, I tell you that. Dan Campbell said he wants kneecap biters. Boy, he got one. That boy moved furniture on Saturdays. And so, but I think they were saying he had some injury stuff come back. But, man, I tell you what, man, in the 6th, give me that all day. So, but, yeah. Let me see. Matter of fact, I might as well talk just a little boxing. Y'all know how I do. You know, it's a little boxing. We got a big fight coming up this weekend. Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo done picked another bum to fight. Hey, Rini. Appreciate you. Not another bum. I don't want to go too hard, but Jamie Munguia, he's got a pretty record, like I said, but he's a B to B plus fighter. He's another guy. He's undefeated. He's 43-0. I think he got 39 KOs, but he don't fight nobody. Nobody of note. Not realistically. I think his last fight, he fought the last guy that Canelo just fought. Well, 2 guys ago. Canelo just embarrassed Charlo for 12 rounds. But before that, he fought John Ryder. And I think he beat John Ryder by decision. Jamie Munguia stopped him. But yeah, man, I expect Canelo to. I mean, he's definitely gonna win for sure. But I'm not quite sure if I think there's a chance he might stop him. Honestly, I think I do. It'd be later in the fight, which isn't ideal to try to predict because Canelo doesn't have the same juice like he used to. Didn't have the same juice, the same steam like he used to. He couldn't even get John Ryder out of there. So I don't necessarily. I wouldn't tell y'all to bet money on a KO, but in my mind, I think he fooled around. He may stop Munguia. I think somewhere round 9, round 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. I think he may fool around and stop Jaime Munguia. But I'll be wanting to boycott Canelo, man. I want him to fight Benavidez, but I'm gonna watch. I know I am. I can't help myself. They also had some news today about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. So they had been petitioning the boxing authorities or whatever to sanction the fight as an official professional bout, as opposed to an exhibition. Excuse me. And so when Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr., it was just an exhibition. So it was. I mean, it doesn't affect each other's record for sure. And then I also like the way it was like refed and handled. I mean, it was really a televised sparring match almost. So this should have the callings of an official bout. So like I said, it's officially sanctioned. It's going to count against both their professional records. It's only 8 rounds. Now they did do some changes though. There was some concessions. So it's 8 rounds. Excuse me. It's 8 rounds. And the rounds are only 2 minutes instead of 3 minutes, which is interesting. And so a lot of the women's boxing, most of their fights until here recently are mandated at 2-minute rounds. And so I think just recently they just had one of the first professional women's fights at 3 minutes. I think it was the Amanda Serrano fight, put on by Jake Paul. Matter of fact, that fight, the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight, or well, don't let me misspeak. But I know very recently the 3-minute rounds for women just came about, and so for the Tyson and Paul fight, no headgear, full go, 14-ounce gloves, 8 rounds, but 2-minute rounds, and that's gonna be here in Texas, here at the Cowboy Stadium. Man, I might have to pull up. I might have to pull up on Mike, man, see what's going on, see the spectacle. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like 57, Mike Tyson, 57 years old, man. I know we want to remember him so fondly. In them training videos, he really be moving. He's moving. Man, we can't lie. It looks almost 90, 93-ish. Nah, maybe not 93-ish. Maybe it looked like 98-ish. You know what I'm saying? But man, hey, Father Time undefeated, man. Mike 57. Mike gonna be 58 when the fight starts. And man, that's just a tall order. Because y'all can say what y'all want to about Jake Paul, man. He got some little power on him. And he got youth on his side, 27. Young legs. I don't know, Mike. I'm not gonna lie, man. I can't choose against you. I can't choose Jake Paul over Mike. But man, I'm worried. I'm definitely worried. I definitely don't want to see Mike get laid out. That's what I don't want to happen. Just about anything else can happen in the fight. I don't want to see Mike Tyson laid out, man. I don't want to see memes of Mike Tyson damn near 60 laying in the ring looking lost, man. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. But yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna fool around and had to go see that, man. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. Crazy. But yeah, let me see. I mean, it might be all I got for y'all. Like I said, didn't have too much going on, but like I said, with the draft just ending, this draft season takes over my life every year around this time for like 3 months. I get all into it. And so now that the official draft is over, it only felt right to kind of talk about it just a little bit. So definitely wanted to do that. But yeah, no, man, y'all stay tuned for sure. I'm still ironing things out, and you know what I'm saying, trying to fall into a new routine. So I don't necessarily have a set schedule of when I'm going to be going live and things like that. So that's why I know a lot of y'all just kind of get those last minute updates, like, hey man, going live, tap in if you can, type of thing. But you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get settled in. We'll make this thing more regular, man. Let y'all get real comfortable. Appreciate all the love as always, man. Appreciate everybody sliding through on your dog. Shout out to them members. Matter of fact, real quick, man, we're gonna still run it down. First one through the door, my dog, Day One Gang Jarrell. You know I appreciate your homeboy. The fam band was definitely in the building. What's going on? My partner, man, one of my guys, man, my dog Miles came in the building. Sis came through, big cousin. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all in here. But yeah, definitely appreciate all the love, support for sure. And hey, y'all stay tuned. Content is still coming soon, man. I'm gonna still put out. I'm probably not gonna go live talking about the draft anymore, but definitely got some more videos, kind of going more in depth with some of the picks and some of the outlooks for some of the teams post draft and things like that. So definitely got a lot of stuff playing, a lot of content coming. Till then, man, y'all stay tuned. I will catch